Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we will discuss this story, A Woman of 50, written by William Somerset Maugham. We call it S. Maugham or W.S. Maugham. This story was published in 1946 when the author he had an age of 72, almost more than 70. That while describing the story we will calculate his age, what could be his age when the story was published. About S. Maugham, you must know that he was born in France, Paris, and somewhere in 1874 or 1874, and he was a doctor by profession, a medical doctor, medical practitioner. But he started writing, and he's famous for his novels. A good novelist, short story writer. He became famous. He left medical field and he permanently joined this writing field, and his stories, they are usually written about human nature of men, nature of women, how we behave in circumstances. So this is about, you can say, a psychological writer who describes human nature at various points. So let's discuss the summary or story, this A Woman of 50. The story is described by the narrator Maugham as Maugham himself. Maugham. So Maugham himself, he describes the story. As the story begins, he starts telling about his friend named Women. The person name written over here in WYMAN. He was a professor in a small university in English department, and narrator, he had a chance to go near his town, few miles away from his city. So he called him, he wrote him that he should come to him. At that time, there was not like phones and mobile phones and telephones, they were not commonly used. So he wrote to the narrator Women, he wrote to Maugham that he should come to his university and deliver a lecture. Delivering lecture means, because Maugham himself was a writer, and whenever a writer or a great name or a great like a famous person who comes and they deliver lecture to the students, it usually happens in every university. Whoever is the big names, whenever they visit the universities, they deliver lectures. So their lectures are not about syllabus concerned or course content, but about their own thoughts. So Maugham, he welcomed this letter and he said that definitely I'll do it. So what happens when he goes there into the department? A woman came to him, to this narrator. She holds her hand and she says that it's been so long that we met, that so many years have been passed since we met, and I would like to see you in my home on dinner. He was surprised, the narrator was surprised that who this lady is, because he had never seen her before, and he starts thinking over it, that why this lady, this woman, she has directly come, and she was looking about 50 years age, and he started thinking that who this woman is, who recognized me, but I couldn't recognize her, or I couldn't get an idea that where I met her. Most probably, surely, that she has met somewhere to the narrator, but narrator is unable to memorize it, that where had they met. In the meanwhile, when she's gone, he asks his friend Women that who is this lady. He says that this is Miss Lara. Miss Lara is a professor of in the department, and she teaches Renaissance. And Renaissance, you all of you know about Renaissance in English literature, that it came to Europe, in Italy. It means rebirth, revival, when this printing press were invented and the books, they were available to the common people. Now, as going back, he starts thinking, this narrator Maugham, that who this lady is, why I am unable to get an idea that who is Laura. He starts thinking over it. He goes to his home, and he describes human nature. He thinks that it seems quite awkward that somebody comes and meet you, that he knows you very well, but you fail to recognize him or her. It seems very bad manners in according to human psychology, as I have already told you that he describes human nature. So he says that in any setting it seems quite awkward when you fail to recognize someone, or when you fail to realize that where you have met that person. So he starts thinking that where he has met this woman, Laura. So while he was going to sleep, suddenly he got an idea that once I lived in Florence, a city in Italy. When I was there for a month, I had met this lady there, Laura. Before he is going to the bed, this Professor Women, he tells the narrator that she is wife to Mr. Jasper Green. Jasper Green is, and the narrator asks that is he a professor also. Then women said that he is not a professor, he is actually a uh, an instructor, but he is a fine scholar. So she is no Miss Green, this Laura. She is wife to Jasper Green. No, and he says that you will really like their place, and you will really love meeting them in the dinner because they are invited. Now he is thinking over it where he has met this woman. While recalling, he suddenly realizes, when he was going to deep sleep, he suddenly realizes his subconscious memory, it gets activated, and he realizes that he has met this woman about 25 years ago in Italy, where there was, American English people there, they was living there, and it was after the First World War where they met. Now he starts thinking that the entire story, that how it happened. First he recalls this Laura's appearance, that she was very beautiful, she was very attractive. I mean, he describes her from head to toe, about her physical appearance, about everything, and about her walk and stroll also. And he realizes that from her walking one can realize that she must be a good dancer. She is certainly a good dancer. So a lot of the details about Laura's appearance is given in the story. Then he realizes that at that time she married to a person, and the name of the person was Tito di San Pietro. The name used in the story is Tito, but he was from his family name was San Pietros. So Tito di San Pietro, although he says that it was not his real name, complete name, it was not his complete name, but in the story over and over again this Tito name is mentioned. So what happened, this Tito was a, a gambler, the one who plays cards, and the one who, they lost a lot of money by having bet of money they play cards. But he was very handsome, and this Laura, she gets attracted towards him, and she decides that she should marry him. Tito was not earning anything. He was actually penniless. Whatever he had earned, he had spoiled it in his gambling, and he was addicted to gambling. But he had a villa. Villa means a big house nearby in a town where his father was living. So what happens? First, they thought that Tito is trying to marry this Laura because of her money, because Laura was earning about 5,000 US dollars a year, and 5,000 US dollars, they are enough to feed a family in those days. They were enough to feed a family in those days. But Laura, she was attracted towards Tito, and she was living with her mother, and when her mother would pass away, she would get 5,000 US dollar extra uh, after the death of her mother, from her mother's share. Now what happens, these two names I have mentioned here, Colonel Harding and his wife Bessie Harding, both of them, they became very good friends to the narrator. He is describing events 25 years ago. Now the woman is, this Laura is 50 years, and at that time he says she might be 24 or 25 years of age. And he met Colonel Harding and his wife. And Colonel Harding, he served in army, and he was quite a good person, and his wife Bessie Harding too. So they always discuss about Laura, and he starts realizing that what were his discussion with these two, with this couple about Laura and her family, because he has to meet her in the dinner. Again, I'm repeating it because he's been invited by Laura to her house. Now he is recalling where had he met her, sorry. Now they describe about, now this Bessie Harding, when they were discussing about their marriage, proposal was going on, marriage discussion was going on, that Laura is going to marry Titu, and Laura and her mother's attitude was very friendly. They used to invite different people at their home for dinner, and they became friends to everyone very soon. So they were very popular in the town. And Laura decided, when she decided to marry Titu, everyone, it became talk of the town. It became, the high talk in the town. Everybody was discussing about them, that what kind of marriage it would be, or what kind of nature Laura has and what kind of nature this Titu had. Now Bessie Harding, while discussing, she says, now three persons are sitting: Colonel, his wife Bessie Harding, and narrator, this Mogum. They are sitting, and Bessie Harding says, uh, Laura and Titu is trying to marry Laura not because of her wealth, but because he loves her, and also this lady Laura, she also loves him. But Colonel describes the real nature of men. Real nature means actual psychology of men. He smiles and he says that they had already counted everything what she earns, because men are more practical as compared to women. So here again the writer is describing human nature when she says that the woman Bessie Harding, his wife, is saying that Laura and Tito's wife marriage is going to be a love marriage, but Colonel Harding says that it is not going to be a love marriage, but it is going to be a marriage, because Tito wants a woman who has some money, because he doesn't have anything, and he is not doing any job. When he is not doing any job to feed himself, he wants a woman who can feed him. So what happens? He had a father. His father was there. In his name was once it is mentioned that Carlo di San Pietro. He was living in villa, and the villa's condition was very bad. So finally they decided that they should marry. Now Tito says to Laura that we should go to villa, and while going to villa, if my father agrees, then we would marry. She goes there with her mother, and her mother's name is Miss Clayton. She is Laura's mother. So Mrs. Clayton and Laura, both of them, they go to a villa where this San Petros they live. Like Tito, and he mostly lives in Florence in city, but his father lives there in villa. They go there, and the father, when he met Laura and talks to them, both of them, they had discussion. The father had discussion with mother of Laura, and Laura had discussion with this Tito. So they say that we agree for marriage. His father also agrees without any hesitation. He says that they are made for each other and they should marry. So this marriage was consummated, or they married to each other. When they married, uh, the relationship between Laura and her father-in-law, this Carlo or Count Carlo di San Pietro, it became very strong. So what happened, with the passage of time, this person, uh, Tito, he starts getting jealous of the relationship of his wife with his father. So he starts thinking that probably they had an affair going on between them. Why he thinks? Because whenever they are talking and whenever they are together, this Laura and her father-in-law, uh, Carlo, whenever they are together, they discusses, they smiles, they care each other, and they do not give any value to Tito. So Tito starts thinking that why are they not giving me any value? How a wife can be so selfish that when her husband is in front of her, instead of talking to her husband, she is talking to her husband's father. So it was a kind of jealousy that was developing in the mind and heart of Titu. But he started thinking how to get revenge, and how to, not to get revenge but to get a proof that they really had an affair. He tries, but he fails, and he talks to himself that he couldn't find a proof, but still his mind doesn't agree, his thinking doesn't agree, his heart doesn't agree, and he believes that they had a affair. No, let me tell you one thing about their affair and everything, because this narrator Maugham, he had spent only 1 month in Florence in Italy. When he was gone back to England, his friend Colonel Harding, he sent him a letter, and he asked him that what about Laura, because wherever we live it is commonly common nature of human psyche, that wherever we live, whatever is the talk of the town, or most highly discussed issue or highly discussed people, they've been asked even we are not there. For example, we are living in a town, some incident happens, and after that people, when they meet after 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, they start discussing over it, that what happened to them. That is again a human psyche, human nature. So he writes back, Colonel Harding, he when he discusses about Laura, he says that it was a very pathetic ending to her married life, so it should not be discussed. But narrator Maugham, he sends him a letter again, and he says that I'm getting curious, I want to know what happened to Laura, and because it was a happy couple, both of them, they married, and they having great great affection with each other. So what happened actually to them? So this, the second thoughts which are coming into Maugham's mind, he is remembering about 25 years ago. Now these thoughts are from the letter. It is actually the words of the letter written by Colonel Harding to the narrator, where he describes that how they married, and when he when this person Tito, he is having having doubts about the affair of his wife and his father-in-law. So most of the times whenever he comes back from Florence, he is not been given that much value by his wife. He starts thinking that what should I do, and again, because he was addicted of gambling, he goes to Florence in the club, and there in gambling he lost again lot of money, and instead of paying for it, he comes back to Laura, and Laura has to pay it there. And as I told you, the house, the villa where his father was living, it was in very bad condition, and because of this they were losing wealth, he has lost lot of money in club. They had to leave that house where they were living in Florence, and they had to finally settle in villa, because there was their own property, and a few acres land was also there. But the condition of villa was very bad. Even it is mentioned in the story, even a washroom was not there. So the description, as he mentioned that washroom was not there, it means that the condition of the villa or a big house, it was very bad. So Laura spends a lot of money on villa. She decorates it, she makes it a beautiful house, beautiful villa, and she starts living over there with her father-in-law. But Tito, he frequently comes back to Florence, and he goes to club, wastes lot of money, and whenever he is in debt, he goes back to Laura, and Laura has to pay it. So these things were going on. In the meanwhile, he starts getting jealous of the relationship getting stronger between Laura and her father-in-law, and his father and her father-in-law. Now what he starts, as I told you earlier, uh, he makes good effort to get a proof, but fails to get any proper proof for that. Even that, his heart and his mind were never satisfied. So he bought a pistol from Florence. He thought that because the both of them, they have affairs, so I would kill both of them. I would kill both of them. Now he is ready to kill his father and his wife Laura. So he comes back to villa, and as he sees watches his father, and his father comes in front of him, he just shot him. So while listening to the firing voice, Laura, she comes there. When she sees that he is having a pistol, and he was about to kill himself also, but she snatches pistol from him so that he must not kill himself. So in the meanwhile, definitely it was a murder, and police was police had to come and launch an FIR or whatever the procedure of the police was there. So this person Tito was arrested, and he was charged of murder of his father. Although there were not any harsh punishments in Italy in those days for crimes, but for murder definitely there was a long punishment, long imprison, like he had to live in jail for a long time. So when the matter goes to court, he declares that because his wife was having an affair with his father, so he killed him. Now the advocates and the other people, now Laura thinks that how to save Tito from this imprisonment or from this jail, going to jail for a long time. So the people, they ask Laura that one way she can be helpful to his husband, to her husband Tito, and that is to accept in court that she really had an affair. She really had an affair with with his father and her father-in-law. So if she accepts, it means that his crime would be justified. If his crime is justified, his punishment will somehow be reduced. First she was startled, she was quite shocked while listening it, but then she realized, she goes to the court and she admits that she had an affair with her father, with her father-in-law, and that is why Tito killed him. The court, instead of sending him to jail, he was analyzed, checked by the doctors, and it was realized that he needs some asylum, he needs a hospital for his mental recovery, Tito. So it was thought that probably the things they get oppressed him so much, the affair oppressed him so much, that is why he killed. So he should be sent to asylum instead of sending him to jail. So she saved him from there. But when she was going back to America, because she was an American, she was going back, she met this Bessie Harding, and Bessie Harding said, she was pregnant also. I forgot one thing, that she was pregnant, and when she gave birth to a baby, the baby could survive only for 24 hours, like one day and one night, and after that the baby was dead. Now when she meets Bessie Harding, Bessie Harding says, this wife of Colonel, she says to Laura that it's good that your baby is dead. And she said, why? She says, because what would he be? I mean, son of a murderer, he would be blamed by everyone. So he were not having spent a good life, so it's better he is dead. At that time, Laura speaks quite a strange sentence that really bewildered Bessie Harding, or startled her or shocked her, and she said that I have accepted in the court that I had an affair with her, with my father-in-law. So in one way she has accepted that she had this affair and Tito was right while killing his father. So then at this time, this Bessie Harding also describes, the writer describes the nature of women. She says, Bessie Harding says that men are very simple, they do not understand the depth of the matter, but the women, they are very complicated, it's very difficult to understand them. So again he describes the human nature. So she goes from there, and she left the villa also, definitely, because her father-in-law was dead and he was in jail. Now this was all about the story. The story ends here, the letter ends here. Now again coming back to the current situation, the present situation, where Laura has invited Meghan to come into her house. Now he realizes that at that time she was 24 and now she has turned to be 50, and when she was 24, 25 at that time, this narrator Maugham, he says that he was 40 plus at that time. So at the age of at the time of publication of this story, he was somewhere about 72 years of age, or 74 or 72 years age. So most probably you can say 72 years of age. And he also when she comes back, now again one other aspect, that she married to Jasper Green, and Jasper Green is 20 years younger than Laura. Now she has married to a person who is 20 years younger. When he goes to the dinner, he says that Laura and Jasper Green, his brother, and his other members of the family, they were enjoying, they were talking, and Laura, without having any sign of guilt from her past or any memory of the past, she was smiling on the dining table and she was listening to them. And Mogum, the narrator, he believes, he starts thinking that probably she has forgotten everything, but he also believes that how is it possible to forget a murder and forget everything. And here the story ends. That is all about a woman who was 50. Now again, these questions, there are two questions from this story that I think you need to answer. Is it possible for a person to recognize someone after a lapse of 25 years? As I mentioned you in the story, that when she looks at him, she suddenly recognizes him, that you are the one who to whom I met in Italy, in Florence. I mean, 25 years ago. It is not very easy. Even our face changes. Uh, when we meet, I mean 25, what we look like 25 years at the age of 25, and we look at the age of 50, and we look at the age of 72, our physical features, they change. But she suddenly realizes him, that she suddenly immediately she recognizes that who is he. Is it possible for a person that if you meet someone after 10, 15, 20, 30 years, and without any hesitation, without getting any clue, you directly recognize him? If you think that it is yes, that you can recognize according to human nature, then you have to explain it with reference to Laura's recognition, then how she recognized it. And if no, then support your answer, and if yes, then support your answer from reference with this topic from this story. The second one is, why did Laura accept in court that she had love affair with her father-in-law? I mean, even if she was going the, what's the use of saving his life, who is already a gambler, or drunk all the time, or most of the time wasting money? He has killed his own father, and what's the use of saving him from sending from jail to an asylum, to a kind of hospital where the mental patients they are treated, so psyche patients they are treated. So for a woman, it is very difficult to accept publicly, accept legally, that she had an affair with father-in-law, but she accepted it. Why it all happened? So these are the questions that you would think about it, and you will write about it. Thank you for listening.